WNBA players set out to make a statement during the All-Star game, and they definitely did, just not in the way they probably imagined. With Caitlin Clark sidelined, it was their moment to show the league's popularity doesn't rest on one person. Instead, from awkward media moments to questionable antics on the court, the entire weekend turned into a publicity nightmare.
Keep your issues to yourself. You went from a Motel 6 in a sketchy part of town to a Four Seasons in the shopping district. Stop talking.
And then came the Kelsey Plum situation. In what seemed completely out of the blue, she took a swipe at Caitlin Clark while talking about player solidarity. You honestly couldn't script it. Let's break down how this unfolded and why it basically validated everything Clark's fans have been saying. But before we dive in, drop a primes in the comments. What did you really think of the game? This event was billed as the league's time to shine. Last year's 2024 All-Star Game pulled in a record 3.44 million viewers. Caitlin Clark's rookie year had fans dialed in, making the game feel like a cultural milestone. This year, with Caitlin chosen as a team captain and the event held in Indianapolis City, her supporter sit was primed to shatter expectations. Tickets were gone in no time. Her three-point contest clips were trending everywhere, and the whole weekend looked like a festival for league growth. It was also a big opportunity for the players. As contract negotiations stalled, with key meetings scheduled during the All-Star break and a looming October 31 deadline, this was supposed to be the time to show league execs and owners that they're the real draw, that they deserve better pay. Then Clark got hurt. She strained her groin in the final minute against the Connecticut Sun on July 15th and had to pull out of both the three-point contest and the main game. The reaction? Swift and unforgiving.
The get-in price for the WNBA All-Star Game in Indianapolis has dropped 48%. From $121 all the way down to just $64 after news broke that Caitlin Clark won't be playing.
The fact that ticket prices plummeted 48% almost immediately says all people would rather eat the loss than watch the top stars in the WNBA without Caitlin Clark. And that's not just about the All-Star event. Tickets for the Fever versus Liberty-owned of the league's biggest matchups are now down to just $59. I was actually planning a trip to New York for that game, and couldn't find seats in the nosebleeds for less than $120. Once again, for the third time this year, it's undeniable. Caitlin's influence on the league is massive.
I can't imagine, folks, you know how many NBA players can get injured? And the prices would never drop to this low. LeBron James can be injured, Steph Curry could be injured, Kevin Durant could be in, and the prices still will not drop to be this low. $75? Folks, I'm sure there's some high school football teams down in Texas that charge you at least $75 to get to a home game.
No other athlete in pro sports right now has the same impact on attendance, viewership, and revenue as Caitlin Clark. And that makes the current demands for higher pay a tough sell because this weekend was their moment. Without Caitlin, all eyes were on the rest of the roster. This was their shot to prove that the WNBA doesn't revolve around just one player, that the league's overall talent could still pack arenas, keep fans engaged, and show real value beyond Clark's spotlight. They needed to prove they were worth every dollar they're fighting for in the CBA talks. Instead, it all unraveled starting before tip-off. One thing is clear: All-Star weekends are about the fans. Especially the newer ones, the ones buying merch, sharing highlights, and filling up arenas. They're the reason player salaries might go up. They're why the CBA negotiation even matters. But instead of leaning into that energy, we got this.
Yes, I think, our sports culture, I think so many fans, feel they have the freedom to say whatever they want to us. And unfortunately, there's a lot of nasty things that come with it. At the end of the day, we're here doing our jobs, and, they don't have people coming to their jobs saying these nasty things. So, we definitely have to protect the players better. It's unfortunate that it's come to this point, but I know we're going to continue to speak up about it, and we're just trying to play basketball.
Alyssa Thomas, one of the league's top players, basically complained about the fans being too harsh. It's odd that a professional athlete doesn't seem to grasp how fan culture works. People aren't always supportive. They can be critical. They can be loud. But here's the thing. That kind of intensity means people are invested. It comes with the territory when you're in the spotlight and playing a sport people are finally watching. What made it worse? She hinted that other jobs don't face criticism like this. That's like saying you've never worked retail or customer service without actually saying it. It felt disconnected from reality and social media. Let her have it. And speaking of disconnects, let's shift to money. Because All-Star Weekend also became ground zero for pay discussions, with players pushing their message in the middle of CBA talks. And then Angel Reese said something that absolutely blew up online.
Bigger than me. No player is less important than me or more important than me. We are all here to fight for the same thing and what we deserve. Basketball and WNBA is all I know. And this is the league I love so much. And we're not going to stop until we get exactly what we want. And yesterday's meeting really woke me up to the eyes of we aren't getting what we deserve.
Angel Reese didn't hold anything back. She floated the idea of a player strike right in the middle of All-Star Weekend, with cameras rolling and headlines ready. And the internet exploded. Thousands of reactions poured in, all calling out the obvious. This league hasn't made money ever. It was still struggling to get mainstream attention before Caitlin Clark arrived. And if Angel is ready to walk out, fans are essentially daring her to learn what her value looks like without Caitlin in the league. Now, to be fair, she was responding to a question. But still, the moment carried weight. Talking about a work stoppage during what's supposed to be your biggest marketing push of the year? Not a good look. And Angel wasn't the only one on that message. Before her own comments about Caitlin, Kelsey Plum spoke up too, framing All-Star Weekend not just as a party, but as a rallying cry for better pay.
We have a long way to go. We're going to use this weekend to show our value and our worth and continue to be united because we do deserve more.
And honestly, Kelsey did make a valid point. She said this weekend was about capturing hearts, minds and, yes, wallets. But here's where it falls apart. If you want people to invest in you, you've got to offer something worth investing in. And then came the next let down the game itself. The All-Stars quickly shifted attention from the audience to themselves, losing the moment. They took the floor, wearing coordinated shirts, reading, "Pay us what you owe us." It was a direct message to ownership, aimed at the stalled CBA negotiations. But the response was flat-like, dropping a microphone no one asked for.
These t-shirts, whoever told them to do this was a bad move. A bad move. Because when I tell you, Fearbug, Breaking 911, Barstool Sports, congratulations, Clown World picked you up, Hater Report, and about 25 others. This is now going viral. I mean, mega viral, and not in a good way. This backfired from a PR standpoint royally.
Social media roasted the man. Honestly, it's not hard to see why. What exactly are you owed? This league hasn't made a profit in 30 years. In fact, it's lost money every single season, $40 million just last year alone. The only reason players are even in a spot to negotiate for more right now is because of new TV rights deals driven by a brand new fan base that Caitlin Clark brought in. That fan base is now larger than the original one. That's why ratings drop 55% when Caitlin doesn't play. That's why ticket prices tank 50% the second she's out with an injury. The numbers say it all. She's responsible for half or more of the league's attention. That's when the memes started to fly. Sure, the images were edited, but the point was clear. Fans widely agreed. Caitlin Clark is the only player who's truly owed anything right now. And that's the key issue players keep missing when they pull stunts like this. Casual fans? They're not siding with you because they know exactly who's driving the growth. The one player who's the reason they tuned in at all.